Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss Educational Code Forces round 99. The first problem is given us a function fx is given and it says that write all the digits of the decimal representation of x backwards. Okay, so suppose f of 3 to 1 is given, so f of x will be f of 1 to 3, and it says that get rid of the leading zeros. So suppose f of 100 is given, but the answer will be 1. The leading zeros will be cancelled. It says that another function gx is given. It is defined as x by f of fx. Okay, so we have to find out the different values of gx. Okay, and in input a number n is given, and we have to find the maximum values of gx, and we have to choose x from 1 to n. Okay, so suppose we take n is any random number, suppose n, let's be n. So we will take first one, and f of x of f of 1 will also be 1. So 1 by 1 is 1. When you take x equal to 2, it will be 2 by 2 1, and it will go like that. And when x equal to 10 comes, f of x will be 1. It will, the leading zeros will be cancelled. So a different value of gx comes at 10. Again for 11, it will be 11 by 11, it will be 1. It is same value. It will go like that. And for 20, it will again be 10. Same value. The value will be different when it comes 100. X will be 100. 100 by 1 is 100. So a different value comes. So we can guess from this that uh, a new number comes when there is an increment in the digit. First it was a one digit number, so one different value. When it went to two digit, a second value came. When it went to three digit, a third value came. So just we have to print the number of digits in the n. That is, you have to print n dot size. And one important thing is that we have to take the input as a string, as n is very large, 10 to the power 100. So the first question is over. Now we can go to the second question. Hmm. Second question says that you are standing on the OX axis at point 2 and you have to move to an integer point x. Okay, so initially you are at origin and you have to go somewhere else in the x axis, and there are two ways of doing it. Either you can go one step backwards, or you can jump k steps forward, where k is the number of nth turn. Suppose in the first turn you can go one step ahead, in the second turn you can go two steps ahead, in the third turn you can go three steps ahead. So, and you have to find the minimum number of jumps you need to reach to point x. So when the question says that you have to find minimum number of jumps, so why should we go backwards? First of all, so suppose n is 10, so we'll go first 1, then we'll go 2 steps ahead and 3, then we'll go 3 steps ahead 6, then we'll go 4 steps ahead 10. So we will calculate likewise for other numbers, and if it comes a perfect integer when the sum is equal to n, so we will print the number 1 2 3 4, and let's say if the number is 15, so we will add 5 and we will print 5 as the number of steps 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, So when now the problem comes when it is in between any of this, such that we have to go from straight from 10 to 15, then again we have to come backwards. So if the number is suppose 11, so if we come backwards we need 4 steps. So 5 plus 4 9. And now we have to figure out is that if there is any other way possible such that the steps are minimum. Okay, so suppose that in this at first turn we are going 1 steps, second step 2 turns, 3, then 4 and 5, and here it is 15. And now if we want to reach 11 at some point here, so if we exclude 5, then there is no point reaching ahead of 10. So we have to take the fifth step. In that case we have to go 5 steps. Now the problem comes here that we have to exclude any one of these, and when when we are going backwards we are going one turn backward. So if we are taking 5, then we are going 4 steps ahead. So what we have to do is that we are going 4 steps ahead and we have to go 4 steps backward, but we have went one step backward when we are going -1 in this side. So overall we are 3 steps ahead, so we will eliminate this. And suppose we have to go to 12, then we will eliminate this one. Suppose we have to go to 13, then we will eliminate this one. And but for 14 we can't eliminate anything. So for 14 what we will do is that we will reach to 15 and then we will go one step backwards. In this case it needs one more turn, so 5 plus 1 6 turns. But for 11 12 and 13 we can reach there by 5 turns only. So the logic here is that we will go on incrementing the sum, and when it is greater than the n then we will break it, and we will see if the sum is 1 less than the number, then we have to print one more number, and if it is anything else then we will print that number only. So this was also a easy to medium sum, and now we will solve the third sum. The third sum says that there are two boys, Alice and Bob. Okay, and it says that during the game the player serving the ball commences a play. The server strikes the ball. So Alice starts the game and Bob is in second turn. And in first turn you have to, thereafter the server strikes the ball, then the receiver makes a return by hitting the ball by. Okay, so there is a ball and the one player will serve it and the other player will return. Then he will return, then he will return. And it says that for one return, one stamina is lost. So two numbers are given initially, the stamina of Alice and the stamina of Bob. And for one hit, one return or one pass, one stamina is lost. And initially Alice is starting, and we have to find out the maximize the number of wins. So the number of wins is such that if the player passes the ball, he wins 1 point. So, but at initially there is no point. So I think it is a very basic question. And suppose suppose Ellis has n stamina and Bob has m stamina. So initially he will pass the ball at the starting and he will have n minus 1 stamina and he will have m stamina. So at the first win of Bob, his stamina will become m minus 1 and his stamina will become n minus 2. This is the first win for both 1 and 2. And here in case we suppose that m is less than n. So this will go, it will reach 0 and here m and there n minus m. So there are still n minus m staminas are left. So he will again pass n minus m times. So it is a pretty simple question. We have to print only n minus 1 and m.